Welcome to the Bucket List Buster Travel Show. Your Bucket List Buster Travel Show helps you make your bucket list dreams come true. Host Karen Duncan spent decades running the travel business. She, along with other industry experts, share their knowledge, travel stories, and wisdom about how to travel, where to travel, and how to have a stress-free adventure. Tune in, give yourself permission to focus on yourself, create lifelong memories with families and friends, and finally learn to relax, rejuvenate, and reconnect. And here's the host of your show, Karen Duncan.
Aloha, buenos dias, ni hao, yahate, bula, guten tag, bonjour, jumbo, boa tarde, everything's Irie, and good afternoon. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome back, Bucket List Busters. It's Karen Duncan, your host. Yes, I've been away. What is going on in your world? Well, I am starting a series called Dreaming of Beyond because, of course, the travel industry is at a standstill right now. And I was trying to decide what I was going to do, and I've been meditating and I've been reflecting. I've been through this before, folks. Not to this extent, of course, but Peaks Cruises and Tours travel agency is just celebrated 25 years last month. And we have been through some of these catastrophes before. And so we're getting all this gloom and doom on the news and wherever you're listening to, and I just can't do that. I can't sit and listen to how bad things are all day long. I know that's up some people's alleys. They're news junkies and they want to hear it. But where do you feel any sense of hope and anticipation about what's going to happen moving forward? So as I've been doing my reflections about where I want to go after all of this is over, what our agency is going to look like, how to stay connected to my clients, and, they're canceling big trips that they've been dreaming about for a long time. I decided that I wanted to put some positivity in the universe. So I'm doing a series while this is going on called Dreaming of Beyond. And we'll be talking about where you guys are listening from, of course, because I want to acknowledge anyone that's listening. Updates on current travel suppliers and their new policies, like the cruise lines, the airlines, destinations, tour companies, anyone that I'm getting some communications from that are suppliers or part of the travel industry that I can provide to you publicly. Resources. What resources are available for you? It could be like today we're going to talk about the U.S. Embassy. It could be your embassies and what resources they have available for you. What resources I have for you if your travel supplier has gone out of business and you're getting left with your money out there. Things like that I think could be helpful for you. And then we're going to have good news, and I call it this topic is lockdown resources. What are you doing during your lockdown? What types of things are you finding that are helpful while you're in lockdown? I've got a whole list of stuff that I'm doing that I'll share with you today, and then I'm hoping that all of you that are listening will send me some information that you're doing. It can be a product that you're using. It can be an app that you're using. It can be something on YouTube or TV. It could be something that is helping with homeschooling for your children. It could be something that's helping you get together with your friends remotely. I want that information from you, the listeners. And I want you to be more engaged because we are so separated right now. And even though podcasting brings people together from all over the world to be able to listen to the topic, I really would like to get you engaged in some way. So we may have, I'm thinking about doing some live stuff on Facebook or Instagram. I'll work through that as I get through it, because that'll give me an excuse to get up, get dressed, put some makeup on, and actually look human. Anyway, and then our last topic during the show's Dreaming of Beyond on Your Bucket List Buster will be dream destinations. Where are you from? Where would you like to go? Tell us something great about your country or hometown that will encourage us to visit once all this shit is over with, is what I've said. Or things that you, some natural resources there, things that you may still be able to do while most of the world is under quarantine. But we want to learn what we can about destinations and places that we've dreamed about and that we still dream about, because now you're probably dreaming more about things while you're stuck at home, right? So we'll talk about that. So that's what this new series is going to be about, and we'll start this. I'll be coming back weekly, not because I need something to do, but because I want to stay connected with you guys. And things are changing so quickly. I get so much information. It's really kind of important for us to stay connected, and this is a great way to do it. So with that, let's start with where you guys are listening from. Okay, where are you listening from? Well, the biggest group of folks are from the United States. Hey, U.S., y'all are going to have to get it together in the U.S. so that people don't get so ill there. You know, I'm really concerned about my family members in the U.S., but hopefully this will give you something positive to listen to as you stay at home. Find some other podcasts that you like listening to, too. That's a really great way to just let your mind go and enjoy listening to somebody else talk for a little while. Canada is second up, Panama, my adopted country, and Sweden, France, and Australia. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you. I've got friends in Georgetown, Texas that are listening, Abbotsford, Canada, Lexington, Kentucky, Montreal, Canada, Fort Lauderdale, Spokane, Washington, Park Forest, Illinois, Panama City, Panama, North Richland Hills, Texas, and Adelaide, Australia. I really appreciate you guys listening to Your Bucket List Buster, and I hope that this show finds you safe and healthy every week. So let's look at some updated current travel suppliers. And this episode is sponsored by Peaks Cruises and Tours, of course, the company that my husband and I own and have for many, many years. So the cruise lines, as you know, the cruise lines shut down operation about a month ago. And what's really funny is, it's not funny, but remember, this is not a negative show. This is not a sad show. This is going to be an uplifting, positive show. So I'm going to say some things that are just going to have to get over and try not to be so misnickety about. But anyway, so my son works on a cruise ship, and he was out of Miami. They let some passengers on the ship and then decided that's when they were going to do the shutdown. So they had to make arrangements for everybody to get off the ship and find their way back home. And then he and the crew were on the ship for about 3 weeks, I guess. And it was really kind of okay because nobody on the ship had the virus. None of the crew was sick. So he literally was in a safer quarantined environment. They had free range of being able to walk around the ship and move around as they wanted to, go outside, that kind of thing. And they were just docked off the coast of Florida and really kind of enjoying that. And the problem is with the crew, so they eventually let the U.S. citizens leave and told them to go home. But the international crew, which 90% of cruise lines crews are made up of international workers, a lot of those poor folks can't get back home. Some of them are not allowing people to fly into their countries, like Panama, for instance. We have a ban right now on commercial flights. I think we do have humanitarian flights that are leaving here that are getting U.S. citizens out to the U.S. if you require that. And I'm sure that's probably the case for a lot of places. But some of these folks don't really have the ability to get back home. So I don't know if they're still on the ships or not. But just think about those poor folks when you're thinking about complaining about being at home, stuck at home, not being able to go to work, or being stuck with your kids. There's a situation out there that's far worse, trust me. Anyway, but what the cruise lines are doing right now, in order, because they know that you've lost your, you can't go on your trip. So what they're doing is offering 125% of your cruise that you paid for. So that means 25%. You get 25% more, which you can use to upgrade your cabin and get a better cabin category when you do go on your next trip, or you can use that to get on a longer itinerary, and it won't cost as much as it would have. Plus, some of them are giving 20% off, even on top of that, plus onboard credit, up to $200 onboard credit. And you have up to 48 hours prior to going on that trip to cancel if you choose to do so. So there are going to be some really good incentives for people that are travelers, for us seasoned travelers that are not going to be afraid to travel as soon as the doors open back up. There are going to be some really great deals out there for you to travel. The river cruises, AMA Waterways is optimistic about river cruising because they feel like because those are smaller ships, not as many people on them, they're probably going to open up faster than some of the other opportunities in terms of people wanting to get on those cruises. Plus, you can see land at all times. So it's not like you feel like you're in the middle of the ocean and if something happens, you can't get back to where you need to be very quickly. You can see land all the time when you're on a river cruise. And so they're very optimistic about what that's going to look like for river cruising as soon as the doors open up. Destinations, the U.S. Virgin Islands has closed its borders. And then Delta Airlines announced Friday that it's updated its travel waiver policies to make it easier for customers to cancel, change, or rebook flights as a result of the coronavirus outbreak. And what they're offering is Delta is extending the ability to plan and rebook for up to 2 years. Usually your certificate when you've got to cancel a flight is good for up to a year for your tickets, for you to use them for something else. They're giving you until May 31st, 2022 for you to be able to purchase and reuse your certificate. And to be eligible, customers for upcoming travel, you had to have upcoming travel booked for April or May so far. And if you had or if you had existing e-credits, then you can use this up to 2 years from now. New tickets bought between March 1st and May 31st can change without a change fee. So the booking for through 2022 is good for anyone that made travel arrangements prior to March 1st. Delta has also announced that they will work with customers on a case-by-case basis to figure out the best way to address their concerns. And you can go through Fly Delta app or online through the company's customer service department to go ahead and rebook your flights. Also, the airlines want people to know that they are including free flights for medical personnel, and they are enhancing their cleaning process. So here's the deal, people. This is kind of a stickler in a way for me, because the planes are flying with 1, 2, 3, 9 passengers on them. You know, and flight attendants are afraid for their lives. Don't fly if you're sick, please. My daughter's a flight attendant. Don't fly. Do not get on the plane if you're not feeling good. You're not only putting your life in danger, you're putting their lives in danger, and their families' lives in danger, their roommates' lives in danger. If you don't have to fly, don't fly. And I know the airlines don't really want to hear me say that, but they're not making any money with one paying person on a flight. So I don't know why they're not canceling those flights. But we're trying to get people to stay home so that you will stay safe, right? So that's what we need to do. So that's what's happening this week. U.S. Virgin Island, like I said, closed their borders. They're asking their residents to stay at home. Non-essential businesses will be closed. And I think that's the case around the world right now. If you are not working to enhance people's lives while they're stuck at home, then you need to stay at home. What does that mean? Restaurants are trying to keep their doors open and provide jobs by offering takeout or delivery. Let those people do what they have to do. Of course, you've got your EMTs and your medical personnel that have to be there to take care of the sick. But the rest of us need to stay at home. When you go to the grocery store, buy enough that can last you for several weeks. Go ahead and buy big bulk stuff. Stock up so you don't have to go out. I haven't been out in 2 weeks. I literally have not been out of the house in 2 weeks. We bought enough stuff right before this all kind of kicked off, and I haven't had to go out. Now, there are things I would like to go out for, but what you find is that you can do without a lot of stuff that you think that you need, and just, so you don't have a certain spice or a certain ingredient for a recipe, learn a new recipe. And with that, I'm going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I'm going to talk about current resources. And I want you to stay tuned because we got some fun stuff coming up too. This is Karen Duncan, your Bucket List Buster.
You're listening to your Bucket List Buster with Karen Duncan.
Welcome back to your Bucket List Buster. This is called Dreams Beyond. This is the new series that we're starting so that we can talk about what life's going to be like after all this bull crap is over with. I'm calling it bull crap. Yes. So, current resources. I think I've talked to you guys about this before. STEP, which is the program for the U.S. Embassy that you register for when you live or visiting in a foreign country. And I just want to give you an example of why this is really important. And Canada has a program. I'm sure a lot of other countries have a program. And this is why it's important. During situations that we're dealing with right now with the coronavirus, I get an email every day. It says Health Alert, U.S. Embassy, Panama City. And this one was from April the 4th. Event COVID-19 situation report and reminders. On April 3rd, Panama Ministry of Health confirmed 1,673 cases of COVID-19. And then it proceeds to tell us what the new restrictions and rules are here in the country of Panama for everybody. What the Panamanian government is officially saying we should do and not do. And this is important, especially if you live in a place that you don't speak the language. Because yes, it's available on the news. You may not have access to the news. You may not understand it on the news. Even if you speak the language some, you may be missing some parts of it because you're not fluent. Like myself, I admit that's one of the things I'm doing while I'm locked up is learning more Spanish. But on April 1st here, the government expanded movement restrictions based on gender. Yes, gender. Individuals be permitted to circulate during the same hours determined by our ID number. And expanded restrictions are as follows. So here in Panama, what we're having to do is the last number on our passport determines which 2-hour span we get to go to the grocery store or to the pharmacy. And we take that time to go. And because they respect their elders, anyone 60 and over gets to go between the hours of 11 to 1 if you want to. I haven't been out. I'm not 60. I don't get to do that. But my husband has gone out a couple of times. But he chooses to go out during his allotted time based on his passport number because we think there's fewer people in our particular area because we live in an expat area. But women on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday get to go out. Men on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, and now on Sundays, everybody must stay at home. So that means there should be nobody outside on the street. There's no going to the beach. There's no hanging out and having picnics. There's none of that here in Panama, which is fine because we're keeping the numbers small right now. So it's restrictive, but I'm okay with this. And then it goes on to just tell us about suspension of commercial passenger flights. The embassy reminds U.S. citizens in Panama to always comply with the local laws. It then gives us the last numbers of passports and the hours that you can go out. It also tells us. It also tells us, there have been humanitarian flights that have been arranged on military planes to get U.S. citizens out of Panama. And they give us a schedule of when those planes will be here, and it's a first-come, first-served basis. And you're able to leave if there's an illness in your family, you need to get out unexpectedly. All kinds of things may come up. Not all kinds of things, but there are particular things that are required for you to be able to get those flights. And then it talks about the schools and universities being closed, the embassy suspended routine hours of operation, and how to contact, actions to take, so on and so forth. But it's important to have this information. And you need to enroll. It's called the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. So look for it in whatever country that you're listening. Look and see if there is a program available from your country for your citizenship. And then you can, of course, follow up on Facebook and Twitter if you need to. The other thing that's happening right now is the U.S. State Department stops issuing passports. So they have scaled back at the passport agency operations. Of course, they want people to stay home and will no longer be issuing passports in view of situations surrounding the escalating COVID-19 pandemic. So, because it's a level 4 travel advisory, which warns Americans to avoid all international travel, instructing those outside U.S. borders to return home immediately or risk being stranded abroad for indefinite periods of time. So they have shut down doing passports. Those who have already applied to obtain a new passport or renew an existing one prior to March 20th will not have their orders affected. The agency said that it would honor its commitment to fulfilling those expedited service orders placed on or before March 19th within 2 to 3 weeks door to door. Moving forward, though, passports will be available only to persons facing qualifying life or death emergencies, such as serious illnesses, injuries, or deaths in their immediate family, which require them to travel outside the United States within a 72-hour time period. So just so you know, that is very important. Remember, life or death emergencies only. There is the phone number for national passport information is 1-877-487-2778. I will put that information on my Facebook page, Your Bucket List Buster, with hours of operation. I will also make sure that it's on Peaks Cruises and Tours Facebook page so that you can look that up in the event that you might need it. So let's talk about one little thing, I call it, for your information. So during this time, especially in the travel industry, lots of travel agencies may go out of business. Lots of travel suppliers may go out of business. It's a really sad situation. It's going to be hard for people to come back. I've been so blessed in the past, and I'm feeling blessed right now. I feel no worry, no stress, because I know I'm going to be okay. It's the power of positive thinking. And I've been through this before. I've been lucky enough to be an at-home agency. Even before working from home was something popular, I dealt with people trying to figure out how I was a legitimate business if I was working from home and not in an office. How things have changed, correct, over the last 25 years. Everybody works from home. If they didn't, they are now. But so there are going to be some companies that go out of business. And one of the first ones that's a pretty big, we call them OTAs, or online agencies like the Expedias and the Hotels.coms, and the people that, or the companies that traditional travel agents like myself cringe when we find out that people are booking through these online agencies. But anyway, Bookit.com becomes the first OTA casualty from the COVID travel shutdown. And it's really a sad situation for people that booked reservations through Bookit.com, because people were showing up at their resorts in Jamaica and all over the wherever Bookit supplies travel vacation packages. They were showing up at their resorts to find out that the money they had paid Bookit had not been sent to the hotel, and were having to pay again if they wanted to stay there. And they had no resources, no recourse, because Bookit was not answering the phone. They've now closed down. So how will they ever get that money back? They're going to have to do a class action suit or something of that nature in order to get that all worked out. But resort bookings are being canceled automatically. Any client that has used the company's pay delay payment plan for upcoming travel won't see any additional debits on their card, Bookit said in its advisory. However, the company is unable to process credit card refunds and advises clients to contact their bank for options available to you as a cardholder. So that is a really sad situation. Imagine somebody that decided to go ahead and do their honeymoon, or that vacation of a lifetime, that bucket list trip that they've been looking so forward to, and they get there and they are stuck paying again, and that money that they had already paid is basically gone. One of the reasons why, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I am. I tell you all the time to work with traditional travel agencies. In these particular situations, my customers that have paid for trips through us, I have resources to make sure that they get all of their money back. That's right. They're getting 100% of their money back right now. Or they can book their a trip for next year using that money, and they're getting additional benefits and amenities for sticking in with us, hanging in with the travel industry and we're going to reward them for doing so. So it is very important for you guys to really take a look at who you're booking, and it will be that way probably for the next 18 months. You're going to need to be very careful with, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. But you can contact me at Peaks Cruises and Tours, 512-529-3696, or hit me up on social media at some point. I'm going to take another quick break, and when I come back, we're going to start the good news. Yes, we are. Good news. I am excited about this. This is Karen Duncan, your Bucket List Buster. I'll be back with dreams of beyond.
Why stay local when you can go global?
It's gonna be free right about now.
With Norwegian Cruise Line, you can shift out of traffic and into vacation mode. Before you know it, you'll be free at sea. What is free at sea? It's your choice of up to 5 free offers, like free unlimited open bar, free shore excursions, and more. So sail to the Caribbean, Alaska, or Hawaii and vacay your way. Only on Norwegian.
To book your Norwegian cruise, contact Peaks Cruises and Tours at 512-529-3696 today. Welcome back to your Bucket List Buster. While I was gone that short time, I got a text message stating that Fort Lauderdale, the governor or the mayor, hold on, let me figure out who it was, I'll tell you here in a minute, has decided to shut down Fort Lauderdale. The Broward commissioner, Mark Bogan, calls for airport to shut down to commercial flights. Hey, that's smart, because, and their reasoning is because the virus can be transmitted without symptoms, so they don't know who's sick. Didn't I just call for folks that are sick to stay home? Well, sometimes you have it and you don't know you have it. So that's how quickly things are changing. That's why I'm going back to doing a show every week, because that came in while we were just talking. But anyway, we're going to talk about good news now. Let's talk about some good news. And I wanted to say, one of the things about being locked in is you get to look at all kinds of stuff on Amazon. You're scrolling through your computer. But it's also a good idea to take care of yourself and to treat yourself while you're going through this so you don't get depressed. I know money is tight. Money is going to be really tight for a lot of us for a little while. But there are little things that we can do for ourselves to make us feel good and feel wonderful. And one of the things, I have a passion for things that smell good. I love essential oils and I love beautiful perfumes. And you've heard me talk about Osme. Osme is the destination perfumery for all fragrance lovers in South Florida. And their vision is to not just sell perfumes, but promote new thinking and create followers of niche perfumery. And Maurice Locke is the owner. He's his gallery, I call it the Love Liquids, are in Miami, Florida. And although you can't visit the shops right now, one of the things you can do is order. And he's so good about sending you samples so that you can choose which one that you'd like to buy more of. He did that for me, but I got a beautiful bottle of perfume for Valentine's Day, and I don't wear it often. It's pricey, but I like that. And not saying that it's too pricey, but it was more than what I usually spend on perfumes, although I'm not real. I don't buy cheap perfumes. I like a really good one that's going to last and be with me for a while. But I did buy this one specifically so for those special occasions when I'm feeling good and I'm feeling sexy. And sometimes that's here at home. You go take a shower, you want to do something different for the day, and you want to feel good about life. Put on your really good perfume that you've gotten at Osme. I appreciate you guys. But anyway, so what is happening? The travel bookings, travel market report. Daniel McCarthy did a blog saying the travel bookings will probably return more quickly than predicted, which is a good thing for not just travel agents, but for destinations and countries around the world. Four-phase change in consumer mentality. They say there's fear, understanding, action, and recovery. And leisure travel will most likely start with shorter, closer trips and lower spends before leading to international travel. So what that's going to look like is people will do trips at home. They'll do going to the coast if you can drive to the coast. The first travelers back could include micro segments like the older retirees. Okay, I'll take that. We were traveling anyway. Millennial families on road trips and high-earning couples. 2020 will be the year of the car. Cruises, which are particularly hit hard by crisis, will survive. Many people underestimate their ability to persevere, and it won't snap back like airlines. And that's probably true. Won't snap back nearly as quickly. People that cruise, that are avid cruisers and love cruising, will go back first. I can't wait to get back on a ship. I'm just going to be honest with you. I've been wanting to go on a cruise prior to all of this going on. I have Alaska planned for June 23rd. I'm still looking forward to doing that trip. And I'm looking forward to doing the South Pacific for my 60th birthday in the fall. So I can't wait to get back on a ship. And I'm looking forward to when they will open up. And it's going to be some great deals out there, folks. Really great deals. So this next segment I call Good News, Lockdown Resources. And I want to highlight this one resource that I have discovered. So I like to work out. And in years past, there have been moments where I work out a lot. I don't work out at all. I'm a couch potato. I'm a bum. I'm out of shape, the whole works. But since coming to Panama, my husband and I we went hiking with a group a couple of times and realized just how bad a shape we really were, and decided that we weren't gonna do that. He likes to walk. I enjoy walking outside with him as well. And the community that we live in, we have acres and miles that we can walk with the ocean as our backdrop and the golf course. And so we have been kicking it up, doing 6 miles, we do anywhere from 2 to 6 miles each time we go out. And we were averaging probably 5 times a week before we got shut down. But I also like to work other parts of my body. I grew up as an athlete, and I was determined that I was going to go into my 60s healthy. I'm going to get down to my ideal weight for my frame. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to trying to wean myself off medications. And I lost 30 pounds this past year, and I've got 10 more to go, and I'm just determined to do it. So with me being shut down because we can't go walking, I just don't want to lose the progress that I've made. And I sent out a post earlier this week saying I'm not going to let the quarantine quince get me. The quarantine 15, like freshman 15, like the quarantine 15 are not going to get me. I'm not going to put this weight back on, and I've got to find a way to get it in. So I found this app after looking at lots of different apps. My daughter sent me Nike Club workout, but I'm 59, and there are just some things that I'm not going to put my body through yet. Now, I might be able to do that in a little bit, but I'm not quite there yet. And I needed to take into consideration my age, even though I don't want to. But I don't want to get injured while I'm trying to get to my best ideal shape. And so I found Women's Workout app. It's a great way to get your workout in. You can choose beginner, you can choose fat burner, you can choose bikini body, you can choose HIIT, HIIT, which is the high impact. It's 20 minutes each program. It's 20 minutes of a variety of exercises based on your goal and or Every day there's a 7-minute daily workout to keep you moving. So some days you may not have time for a whole 20 minutes or 40 minutes. Some days you just need to get it in. So you can just hit on the daily workout and it's 7 minutes. You can combine several if you want, which is what I'm doing. I'm doing a fat burner, and I'm getting ready to add the bikini body. I may never get a bikini body. I'm going to get a bikini body. Let me take that back. I'll talk about that a little later too. I haven't worn a bikini in 100 years, to be honest, but that's a goal that I'm striving for, so I'm going to work toward it. And not to say that I'm being, don't come at me with, she's being conceited or she's trying to do this. I'm just trying to be healthy, because one of the things that they have found out during this virus is that people that are healthy have been able to fight this virus a lot better than people who are unhealthy. So it's not about looking good. It's about when and if I get sick, I can fight whatever it is that comes at me, because my body is in optimum operational function, and it can do what it's supposed to do, because our body is built to heal itself. So that's why I'm doing this. I do want to look good, don't get me wrong, but I really want to make sure that I can fight as I go into this portion of my life. I want to be able to fight whatever comes at me because I'm healthy. So anyway, so you can combine several. I'm doing a 30-day challenge of each of them, and they're 4 to 12 weeks, depending on which program you choose, 3 to 5 days a week. And it'll tell you based on which program you choose. You don't need equipment, so you don't need weights, you don't need bands, you don't need any of that. You can do it right there at home. I have a little space, I call it my she cave, where I do my podcast, I do my vocal warm-ups, and I do my meditation and all of that right here in this little space. You don't need a lot of space. They have music that is set to. There's a countdown clock, so it tells you how many seconds they do, not the number of times you do a exercise, but they do a times period. They give you rest in between each exercise, and then they give you water breaks. And it's really easy, and it's fun, and it's different exercises every day that work the body parts that need to be worked, or it gets your heart rate up like it's supposed to. It's just really, really good. I really am very impressed. And it's built for women, although guys can do it too, because I guarantee you guys, if she's getting in shape, you're going to want to get in shape. And it's easy for you to do this together if you'd like. So what are some of the things that you're doing while you're locked down? What have you learned about yourself during this time period? Are you self-motivated? Are you becoming a couch potato? Are you going crazy? Are you homeschooling? Are you driving your spouse insane, or they you? This section is going to be about helping you find things to take up some time and to be productive in the process. So here's just the list of what I'm doing. And then next week, I'm hoping that you guys will write to me and send me some information about what you're doing. Send me things so that I can include it and other people can know about it. So number one, I'm doing the women's workout. I'm doing it every day. Something or another I'm doing. I use Down Dog app for yoga, as well as I have a friend here, Marla Diaz, who's doing live yoga on Zoom. And you can sign up for her classes, and she's doing them based on whatever you would like to donate for the classes. And she's doing a 14-day challenge as well. So those are two resources for yoga, Down Dog and then Marla Gibson Diaz online, for if you wanted to do it with other people and as part of a class. Then there's Duolingo for learning more Spanish. They have all kinds of languages, so learn a new language. I'm also taking the Australia Specialist Program. I told you that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to in the fall, is getting to the South Pacific, and Australia is on that list. So I've decided to take the Australia Specialist Program that's offered through their Travel and Tourism Board, so that after all of this is over, dreaming forward, dreaming beyond, when you guys decide that you're ready to go to Australia, you can contact me because you know I'll be a specialist. I'm also reading The Secret. If you've never read The Secret, and I know there's a movie with Kate Hudson. I haven't watched that movie yet. I think I will watch that. Maybe I'll do that today. But I'm reading the book. I watched the documentary on Netflix, which inspired me to then read the book. And it's about the law of attraction. And I need you guys to read the book. I really do need everybody in the world. And if we would all collectively do that, and law of attraction is about thinking positive and visualizing that you've accomplished the things that you've been dreaming about, to make them happen, to attract them to you so that you can achieve them. And what we need to attract right now is the positivity that this virus is going to go away very quickly, very soon, and not hurt many more people. I had put on my vision that April 7th was going to be the day, is going to be the day that the virus is going to start flatlining, and from there it's going to be positive here on out. So if I can get you guys, that's 2 more days from now, if I can get you guys to think April 7th, the virus is going to flatline around the world and it's going to start making a turn for the better, then we can go from there. But I'm reading The Secret, and so I'm learning a lot about how our thoughts, and during this time, it's really trying, right? It's really, really trying. But how our thoughts are attracting the negativity in our lives as well as the positivity in our lives. So if you're having negative thoughts all the time, then you're attracting more negative. If you say, I don't have any money, you're attracting not ever having any money. You got to start thinking, okay, I've got this money in my bank and this I'm going to be able to do. This is the body that I have. You've got to visualize it. Those vision boards work for this very reason. You have to start thinking positive, and especially during trying times. That's why I'm not worried about my business. My business is going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. This is going to be a wonderful regrowth and renew for me and the world as a whole, because we're going to learn a lot about ourselves and what we need to do differently from here. I'm also doing a 21-day hope meditation with Oprah and Deepak. I have done these for the last probably 10 years, and this is a really good one. It's, of course, helps you focus on hope and dreams and just getting beyond living within that sad space that a lot of people are in right now. And stop listening to all this bullshit on the news, folks. You're killing yourselves by listening. How many times can you listen to the fact that it's a bad virus? It's killing people. They don't have enough equipment. If you listen to it without doing anything about it, then you're just making yourself miserable. If you want to change it, send some money to these organizations and help them get the equipment that they need, right? Do something positive for somebody that's struggling right now. Talk to somebody and give them a ray of hope if you know they're struggling. Do something about it. 21-day hope meditation with Oprah and Deepak. You can start it now. Start from day 1 and work your way through it. I highly recommend it. We got to stay positive. Talk to your friends and family on the phone. Talk to people on the phone that you haven't talked to in a long time. Reach out to them now that you're stuck. Find new hobbies and activities. My husband's learning to cook. YouTube cooking is his favorite thing right now. We're eating all kinds of new recipes because that's what he's doing. Listen to podcasts, audiobooks. That's another thing he's doing. He is an audiobook fanatic. Learn to eat healthy. Get your exercise. We just talked about that. Find positive people to talk to. Don't talk to anybody that's negative. Don't talk to anybody that's negative. We don't need negativity in our lives. We got enough of that just by turning on the news. So let's not talk about it. Look at travel videos on YouTube and dream about life after the coronavirus. That's what this is about. Dreaming and beyond. Dream beyond the virus. That's going to be my new tagline. Dream beyond the virus. and it's going to be fantastic. Send some positive vibes out into the universe. We need that. Everybody needs to. Today is the day that you start thinking positive and sending those positive vibes out. And what's on your bucket list? Has it changed? Are you assessing your life before and after Corona? What does it look like? I'd really like to know. I'm going to take another quick break, and when I come back, we're going to talk about what some destinations are doing, and then we're going to start the next week with Happy Thoughts. This is Karen Duncan, your Bucket List Buster. I'll be
Your Bucket List Buster is sponsored by Peaks Cruises and Tours. PeaksCruisesTours.com.
Welcome back to your Bucket List Buster. Dreams and beyond is where we are today. I hope you have enjoyed the new format for the show. I know I'm getting a little preachy and all of that, but it's been a long time since I've been on the air. There's a lot of crap that's going on, and I want to kind of set the stage for where we're going to go from beyond. I won't do this every week. I promise I won't. So we're dreaming of beyond the coronavirus, and some of the destinations are being very creative on staying connected. One of the things we want to do is to still be able to think about those destinations and those places that we want to go once this is all over, right? So destinations, you will be able to find pictures of some of the destinations that I've been to and some of my trips on Facebook and Instagram, Your Bucket List Buster. But one of the things I would like for you to do is for you to contact me with where you're from or where would you like to go. Tell us something great about your country or your hometown that will encourage us to come visit after all this shit is over. Really, that's what I want you to do. So you can do that by sending me an email at yourbucketlistbuster@gmail.com or put it on, send me a message on Facebook or Instagram as opposed to just posting it, because I'd like to be able to ask you some questions to kind of develop the storyline behind why your destination that you're contacting me about is such a great place, and give people an opportunity to dream about it. You know, we want to create the visual so that people are excited about. So that's what I'll start doing next week, is getting some responses from you guys that are out there listening, and we'll talk about some of your destinations. So what do we have going up? So I'm still looking forward to, like I said, to my June 23rd Alaska trip. We've got 28 people signed up to go on that trip. We're going, damn it. And some of my folks that are going, this is an absolute opportunity of a lifetime. They've been dreaming about it for forever. One of our ladies is 83 years old. Her husband was stationed there when he was in the military, and she's been dreaming about this trip. We've got to make it so that she can go, guys. She's got to go. And she's one of the premier barbecue pit masters in the state of Texas. And I've been so looking forward to sitting down and talking to her and just watching her have this experience, because, you know, who knows? But that's what we're looking forward to. So we're going to make this happen. Next, like I said, my 60th birthday trip, South Pacific, French Polynesia, going back to Fiji, going to Australia, New Zealand. It's been on my bucket list for a long time, and I'm going. I'm looking forward to it. And why? Because of the beaches and the beauty of Tahiti, the pearl farms in Tahiti. The clear water, the people, the food, and the fact that I've just never been to that space. New Zealand, I want to go where the hobbits live. I want to see the hobbit holes. I really do. And it's so green and lush. And we met some New Zealanders and Australians when we went to Fiji years ago, and they were the life of the party. And I cannot wait to go back and meet more people like those folks that we met. And plus, we met some Australians on our cruise last year when we cruised from Japan to Alaska. And our friends Carrie, Grant, and Karen's fun-loving husband, we connected in a way that, you know, you very rarely connect with people pure strangers from a different part of the world, and we had the best time. And so we are really looking forward to meeting up with those guys again next year, and hopefully I may be able to talk them on going on this cruise with us in the South Pacific. They may actually do that. We'll see. But let's talk about Jamaica. Has this really fun thing that they're doing right now. It's called Escape to Jamaica through Instagram Live. So because of social distancing and traveling and all that, what they're starting to do, they started it on Friday, April 3rd, and I totally forgot. It was at 9 p.m., but they kicked off Escape to Jamaica Instagram Live series featuring one of Jamaica's leading disc jockeys, ZJ Sparks. So he was going to be sharing some great music. They're going to have some live cooking demos, some pre-recorded wellness sessions. The first wellness session will air tomorrow, April 6th at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, hosted by Empress Thandi Wise, a certified yoga instructor from Rasta Wellness Center and Jake's Hotel. That could be fun. So maybe that'll be my yoga for tomorrow. The channel's first cooking demo will air on Wednesday, April 8th at 6 p.m. Eastern and will be hosted by Andre Fowles, Food Network Chopped champion and culinary ambassador for Miss Lily's in New York, Negril, and Dubai. And so people all over the world will be able to be a part of this with live music, virtual getaway through music, cuisine, culture, warm people, and unmistakable Jamaican spirit, said Donovan White, Jamaica's Director of Tourism. So the schedule, they've already had the DJ Sparks on April 3rd, but tomorrow is yoga. The 8th is Jeff Andre Fowles Chopped champion for a cooking class. Then April 10th is DJ Delano Renaissance Disco. April 15th is the Russo Sisters, Jamaican sisters, owners of Summer House in Kingston, and authors of The Roots of Caribbean Cooking will do a cooking demonstration. And then April 17th, ZJ Chrome, Zip 103, will close it out with some more reggae and fun-loving music from our friends in Jamaica. I'm going to post this on Facebook as well and on Instagram, so you guys will see it. I will put it on the Your Bucket List Buster pages. But these are great ways for us to connect with destinations. And this is an example. So if you have some information about your particular destination or where you live or something like that, where you're doing something live to keep your face in the place while we're all sitting at home doing nothing, then make sure that you get it to me, your bucket list buster at gmail.com. That's YOUR bucketlistbuster at gmail.com. So for more information, go to peakscruisesandtours.com, and you can find all kinds of information about other destinations to just read about, dream about, and love about. So that's the end of today's show. I really appreciate you guys listening in, tuning in. I know it was long-winded at the beginning, but I hope you got some information that you can start dreaming of beyond the coronavirus. And this is what we'll do every Sunday. I will do these every Sunday, and they'll be available for you for the rest of your lives, as long as we have the internet. This is Karen Duncan, your Bucket List Buster, and I will see you next week. Everybody stay safe, stay home, and keep dreaming. Love you all.